Why you must read English. Alex felt a familiar tremor whenever English was mentioned, a language that seemed to constantly loom over their future. The thought of speaking it aloud brought a wave of anxiety, a profound fear of mispronunciation or grammar blunders. This self-doubt was a heavy blanket, stifling any potential desire to engage. Alex often wondered if true fluency was even an achievable goal for someone so hesitant. Every attempt seemed to end in frustration, perpetuating the belief that mistakes were an inevitable and embarrassing part of the process. "I don't want to make mistakes, but I always do. Why?" echoed in Alex's mind, a question that offered no comforting answers. This cycle of trying and failing chipped away at confidence, making each new English lesson feel like an uphill battle. It was a disheartening loop. Yet, deep down, Alex knew the undeniable importance of English. It was the key to countless opportunities, unlocking vast resources and connecting with diverse cultures across the globe. The modern world undeniably revolved around this universal tongue. Ignoring it felt like purposefully shutting off a significant part of the world, a future Alex desperately wanted to be a part of. The turning point arrived subtly but powerfully. A dream job interview, conducted entirely in English, slipped through Alex's fingers. The inability to articulate thoughts confidently, to understand complex questions, highlighted the stark reality. This mischance was a painful awakening, a clear sign that merely wishing for fluency was utterly insufficient. Action was paramount. "Why You Must Read English," a viral article, appeared on Alex's feed that very night. It spoke of global communication, access to unparalleled information, and personal growth. The article emphasized reading as the bedrock of language acquisition, building vocabulary and comprehension subconsciously. It was a compelling argument, igniting a flicker of hope where only despair had resided. Alex decided, then and there, to fully commit. No more half-hearted attempts, no more avoiding conversations. This commitment wasn't just about passing tests, it was about transforming a core limitation into a profound strength. The journey would be long and arduous, certainly, but the potential rewards far outweighed the immediate discomfort. This resolution felt liberating. The first step involved extensive research into how to learn English. The internet was a treasure trove of advice, from structured courses to immersive techniques. Alex spent hours sifting through blogs, videos, and testimonials, trying to piece together a coherent learning strategy. It was overwhelming, yet exciting to discover so many diverse pathways available. A personalized plan began to take shape, a blend of traditional grammar exercises and modern, engaging methods. Alex understood that consistency was key, not just intensity. Short, daily sessions proved more effective than sporadic, long ones. This systematic approach promised gradual, sustainable progress, a stark contrast to previous unorganized efforts. However, the old demon, "I don't want to make mistake, but I always why," quickly resurfaced during speaking practice. Every slip of the tongue felt like a massive failure, confirming deep-seated fears. Alex's voice would tremble and thoughts would vanish, replaced by a sudden, blank panic. This self-consciousness was the most formidable barrier. A wise online mentor suggested reframing mistakes as learning opportunities, not personal shortcomings. Errors are simply data. they explained, showing you where to focus your attention next. This perspective shift was profound, slowly eroding the crippling fear. It allowed Alex to view missteps with curiosity rather than debilitating shame. Next came how to learn words, an area Alex previously found tedious. Rote memorization had failed consistently. The mentor suggested context-based learning, associating new words with vivid images, personal experiences, or even short, self-created sentences. Flashcards with example sentences became an indispensable tool for active recall. Alex started maintaining a dedicated vocabulary notebook, noting down words encountered in readings and conversations. Regularly reviewing these personalized lists, rather than generic ones, proved incredibly effective. Understanding nuances and collocations, not just definitions, was emphasized. Learning words became an intriguing detective game. Then came the crucial element: listen and practice. Alex began by immersing themselves in English audio content, podcasts, music, and simple news reports. Active listening, focusing on intonation and rhythm, became a daily ritual. Even if complete understanding wasn't immediate, the sheer exposure was invaluable. Shadowing, a technique where one repeats what they hear almost simultaneously, was introduced. This enhanced pronunciation and speech rhythm significantly. Alex would mimic native speakers from short audio clips, paying close attention to their cadence. It felt awkward at first, but the improvement was undeniable over time. Speaking practice moved from internal monologue to actual conversations, even if hesitant. Finding a language exchange partner online provided a safe space to try out new phrases. These interactions, though nerve-wracking initially, were vital for converting passive knowledge into active communication skills. Progress was gradual. The challenge of how to think and speak surfaced. Alex realized the internal translation process was slowing everything down. The goal was to eliminate this intermediary step, to directly form thoughts in English without first composing them in the native language. This felt like rewiring the brain. Alex started narrating daily activities internally, describing surroundings, planning schedules, and even arguing with imaginary characters, all in English. This constant mental practice, even without vocalization, built fluency in thought. It was a silent revolution, preparing the mind for spontaneous speech. Labeling objects around the house, speaking to pets in English, and reading recipes aloud became routine. These seemingly small actions cumulatively train the brain to associate English words directly with concepts, bypassing translation. The mental agility improved dramatically, surprising Alex. How make confidence in speaking was the ultimate quest. Alex realized that confidence wasn't something to be magically acquired. It was built, brick by brick, through small victories. Celebrating every successful sentence, every understood joke, every fluently articulated thought, no matter how trivial. Joining an online English club provided a supportive environment. The group's motto was progress, not perfection. This philosophy resonated deeply, encouraging members to embrace imperfections and focus on consistent effort. Speaking in front of others, even in a relaxed setting, significantly boosted self-assurance. Alex started volunteering for roles that required minimal English interaction, gradually increasing exposure. Ordering coffee, asking for directions, engaging in simple small talk, each instance chipped away at the speaking anxiety. The real world became a classroom, an intimidating but effective one. Then came the revelation: learn English through stories. Alex discovered that engaging narratives made learning effortlessly enjoyable. Reading simplified novels, listening to audiobooks, and even watching short animated series with subtitles transformed learning from a chore into a captivating adventure. Stories provided context for vocabulary, grammar, and cultural nuances in a natural, intuitive way. The emotional connection to characters and plots made information stick better than any textbook explanation. Alex found joy in the learning process, something previously thought impossible. Alex actively sought out stories tailored to specific interests, whether it was fantasy, science fiction, or biographies. This personalized approach ensured sustained engagement and intrinsic motivation. Learning felt less like studying and more like exploring captivating new worlds. It was truly transformative. How to practice English became a daily mantra. It wasn't just about structured lessons, it was about integrating English into every fabric of life. Changing phone settings, using English for online searches, even journaling in English, small, consistent steps made a huge difference. Alex found an accountability partner, someone equally committed to improving their English. They would set weekly goals, practice conversations, and provide constructive feedback. This shared journey fostered dedication and mutual support, making the learning process less isolating and more effective. Regularly recording voice notes and listening back to them helped identify areas for improvement in pronunciation and fluency. It felt awkward at first, hearing one's own voice, but it was an objective way to track progress. Self-correction became a powerful tool in Alex's arsenal. Alex also embraced making deliberate mistakes during practice sessions. The goal was to push boundaries, to actively try new sentence structures, even if it meant stumbling. This failing forward mindset accelerated learning, breaking the paralysis of perfectionism that had once plagued every attempt. The journey was long, filled with ups and downs, plateaus, and sudden bursts of progress. There were days of overwhelming frustration, where old fears threatened to resurface and derail the entire effort. But Alex remembered the why, the dream job, the global connections. Each small victory fueled the next step. Understanding a complex article without translation, confidently participating in a group discussion, even dreaming in English. These milestones affirmed that the hard work was paying off. Confidence blossomed from within, a genuine and lasting feeling. Alex's pronunciation became clearer, vocabulary richer, and grammar more natural. The fear of mistakes gradually faded, replaced by an eagerness to communicate and learn from every interaction. English was no longer a scary monster, but a friendly, empowering companion. The original question, "I don't want to make mistake, but I always why," now seemed almost comical. Mistakes were no longer roadblocks, but stepping stones, vital feedback mechanisms guiding the way forward. This perspective was truly liberating, allowing uninhibited experimentation with the language. Alex discovered that fluency wasn't about eradicating all errors, but about communicating effectively and confidently, even with a few imperfections. The goal shifted from perfection to proficient, clear, and authentic expression. This realization brought immense relief and joy. The importance of reading English daily could not be overstated. It was the constant fuel for growth, expanding knowledge effortlessly. Reading diverse genres and topics broadened Alex's understanding of different contexts and nuances, enriching communication beyond basic survival phrases. The continuous process of how to learn English became an enjoyable lifestyle, not a chore. Alex sought out new learning resources, participated in online webinars, and even attended virtual language conferences. The world of English learning was vast and exciting. Actively seeking out opportunities to listen and practice became second nature. Conversations with native speakers, even short exchanges, were cherished. Each interaction was a chance to refine skills, test new vocabulary, and boost speaking fluidity in real-time scenarios. Alex found immense power in the how to think and speak method. The ability to articulate thoughts directly in English, without the mental translation step, dramatically improved reaction time and overall fluency. It felt like unlocking a direct pathway in the brain. The transformation in how to make confidence in speaking was perhaps the most profound. Alex spoke with conviction, made eye contact, and genuinely enjoyed conversations. The shy, hesitant individual was replaced by an articulate, self-assured communicator, a truly remarkable evolution. Learning English through stories remained a beloved method. Alex delved into more complex narratives, appreciating the beauty of literature and its power to convey profound ideas. Stories nurtured imagination while simultaneously strengthening linguistic abilities in an organic way. The diverse ways how to practice English had been incorporated into daily life proved pivotal. From casual chats to formal presentations, English was now an integral part of Alex's existence, used naturally and without conscious effort or debilitating fear. Alex reflected on the initial resistance and fears. It was hard to believe the extent of the transformation. The journey from crippling self-doubt to confident fluency was a testament to perseverance and the power of embracing a growth mindset. It felt like a different person. The dream job, once lost, reappeared, and this time, Alex seized the opportunity with unwavering confidence. The interview was fluid, engaging, and successful. English was no longer a barrier but a bridge, connecting Alex to global possibilities and professional fulfillment. Alex became an advocate for English learning, sharing insights and encouraging others who felt trapped by their fears. "Your mistakes are your greatest teachers," Alex would often say, echoing the wisdom that had once transformed personal perspective. It was a message of hope. The journey had proven that learning English wasn't merely about memorizing rules. It was about embracing a new identity, a new way of interacting with the world. It was about overcoming internal obstacles as much as external ones. A true self-discovery. Alex emphasized the importance of consistent input, particularly through reading. "Why you must read English" became a mantra for students, highlighting how reading broadens vocabulary naturally and strengthens grammatical intuition without explicit study. It's effortless learning. How to learn English was simplified into actionable steps: immerse, practice, reflect. Alex stressed that finding joy in the process was paramount, turning what might seem like a daunting task into an exciting personal adventure. Every step was progress. The struggle with "I don't want make mistake, but I always why" was addressed head-on. Alex taught students to laugh at their errors, to understand that every single mistake brought them closer to mastery, not further away. Embrace imperfection with courage. For how to learn words, Alex recommended thematic learning and spaced repetition, focusing on high-frequency words first, then expanding systematically. Integrating new words into daily conversations actively cemented them into long-term memory. It was effective and fun. The advice for listen and practice involved diverse sources: music, movies, news. Active listening and shadowing were emphasized, teaching students to tune their ears to native rhythms. Consistent, varied exposure built robust comprehension and natural pronunciation. How to think and speak was demystified by encouraging internal monologue in English, even just for 5 minutes a day. Alex believed that training the brain to process thoughts directly in the target language was the ultimate fluency hack. To how make confidence in speaking, Alex advocated for small, low-stakes practice sessions, gradually increasing difficulty. Celebrating tiny wins, no matter how insignificant they seemed, cumulatively built a strong foundation of self-belief and speaking prowess. Learn English through stories became Alex's favorite recommendation. It wasn't just about entertainment. It was about soaking in language naturally, experiencing context, and developing an intuitive feel for grammar and expression. Stories were truly magical learning tools. Finally, how to practice English was all about consistency and variety. Daily exposure, active use, and continuous self-assessment formed the pillars of sustained progress. English became a playground, not a battlefield, full of endless possibilities. Alex's story became an inspiration, a living testament to the fact that fluency is within reach for anyone willing to persist. The initial fears and doubts were transformed into stepping stones, leading to a life rich with connection and opportunity. From a hesitant learner to a confident speaker, Alex's journey proved that embracing mistakes, consistent practice, and strategic learning methods could unlock unimaginable potential. The world of English was now truly open, waiting to be explored.